Hello everybody and welcome back. We are here, and I can't say on the stand because there's more than one stand, isn't there, Paul?
There's two.
There's two. We're here with Matsuura, and Paul and I are going to divide off in this live, aren't we, here at MACH 2024?
We are. We're going to divide our time. I'm going to be looking at this side of the Matsuura, the blue machines. So we're going to be looking at 5-axis machines, horizontal machining centres. Automation is clearly the theme here because we're going to be looking at the Muratech machine as well. And then you're going to look at
I'm going additive, and there is a lot to see over there. So I'm quite excited because it's not just about the machines, but it's what they're doing with their team members that is really making waves in the industry right now. Very, very exciting. How are your feet?
They're hurting. They're hurting. I think what's going to be exciting about this stream is we've got lots of people participating. I know that I'm going to be interviewing 4 people here on the subtractive side, and then I think you got 3.
I've got John, Joe and Lee.
So over the course of the next 20 minutes or 30 minutes, we're going to be talking to 7 people from Matsuura. And we're going to start with Dominic Seminario, who's coming shortly. Now, if you have got any comments or any questions during the stream, then put them onto the social media page that you're actually watching this. And we'll try and get to them, if not through or during the stream, but at the end of the stream.
Yeah.
200,000 people this has been streamed to.
It's
I have to add that
so
in
exciting. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Are you coming to MACH? Can you not make every single day, but you can make a few? Well, come and join us because we've got a stand as well, so come and see us, but also come and see the new technology that these stands have got to offer. I go out to quite a few case studies with Matsuura, and the success that they've had in recent years is massive.
Yeah, a lot of that would be, it's clearly down to the kit that they supply.
Absolutely.
But with automation running through the veins of this company, that's really been, I suppose, the backbone to their success, of which we'll see. People
talk about this brand. They've brought something very, very special to industry, and they've done it the right time, and it's working.
Absolutely, and they've expanded on it a lot. There's some new models that we're gonna see today. As Lindsay said, keep tuned to our channel throughout the rest of this week. We'll be live streaming every day from MACH. If you can't make the show, you should come to the show, but if you can't make it here in Birmingham, and stay tuned to MTDCNC. Do you want me to take that microphone?
Absolutely.
I'll go and speak to Dominic Seminario, take a look around this part of the stand, and then I'll be able to see you shortly.
I'll meet you on the additive stand.
Great stuff. Now, you'll know this gentleman that I'm going to introduce you to now. He's been featured on our channels a lot over recent years. It is Mr. Dominic Seminario. Dom, was that an order?
Well, you know, I was trying.
Good to see you again. How are you keeping?
Very well. My voice is a bit struggling at the moment, so it's been a busy day.
It has been a busy day. Well, I'm going to move this side so we can get you clearly in shot. We're going to look at all the machines here that you've got on your stand. Fabulous stand. Have to congratulate you.
Thank you very much. Well, let's thank Ian, really. He's the guy
behind it.
We just sign the checks, right? We let Ian do all the work.
What's the messaging from you guys here at the show this week?
Well, this week, obviously, what we tried to do this week is show all the products that we sell. So, as you know, we've got the CNC stand and the additive stand. So we've got like this differentiator now, CNC business, additive business, which is all under obviously Matsuura. So what we wanted to do with this machine is show people that we do a larger multi-pallet horizontal than the H+300. So the H+300 for many, many years, as you well know, has been a success story. With the increase in volume that's come back to the UK, we've seen over the last 3 years, we've been selling and stocking a lot more of the 500 pallet machine, with 6 and 12 pallets.
It's a horizontal machine.
It's a horizontal multi-pallet. It's obviously on the same platform as an MX, a MAM. All the technology's the same. The tool magazines, the software, blah, 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 blah. It's all the same.
I want to pick your brains as well about the success of the business, because we'll look at the models independently shortly, and we are going to take a tour of the whole stand and look at them.
Thank you.
But me and Lindsay just opened this stream talking about the amount of machines that you guys have been selling in recent years. There's obviously a reason for that, but I mean, automation has been a big part of that, hasn't it, for you?
Well, for us...
And how successful have you been?
100%. Well, so automation for us has always been the backbone and the key to our product portfolio. So if you remember, the MAM 72 35V 30 years ago was a 32 pallet 5-axis. No one else had that machine. So every machine that we now produce has a form of pallet system. Okay, so in the UK, all I stock is multi-pallet machines. Okay, so whether it's 10 pallets, 12 pallets, 15 pallets, 24 pallets, 32 pallets, blah, 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 right? So when we sell that technology, we're selling the return on investment from the unmanned running, the ease of leaving jobs set up, and obviously being able to make one, make 1,000. So that's the message that we're always putting out. And I think, you know, with the ability of your platform that you've allowed us to obviously be on, thank you. And the compliments this week have been great, by the way, especially on my podcast.
Right, yeah.
In fact, that guy was actually complimenting me on my podcast.
So if you haven't seen, and I don't want to stop you on your flow, but I did a fabulous 45-minute podcast with Dom on our Bench to Boardroom podcast, where we find out not necessarily about what we're talking about today. But
No, but that's what he was actually complimenting me on. So obviously, you know, the MX 420 is a slightly bigger version. Now, the Murata business. So one thing I do want to plug, if I may, on this podcast and interview is that we've gone about the Murata business in a different way in the last 3 years. You know, we've grown that business now by 300% in 3 years, right? So to the volume that we're selling. And this week, that MWR 120 has been already a storm, to the point that when I come back in 2 years' time, there might be a lot more Muratechs on the stand. The additive business has grown significantly. We started our additive business 6 years ago.
Is it 6 years?
6 years ago. That business is now representing 25% of our turnover. So that is just completely on the way up.
And it's important to say that's not because this side has shrunk.
No.
It's
grown the business. So the growth that we see, we're sustaining the Matsuura business, which is the numbers that we always talk about. That keeps, obviously, our president, Mr. Matsuura, very happy. We are slowly increasing that market share per year. But, you know, it's hard to keep selling that volume. So how do we grow? Well, we grow with other products. So the turn centre solution that we're selling, obviously, on the Murata platform, the Muratech, we're selling it in the same way. It's an automated turning solution. You know, it's a MAM 72 in a lathe, right? Yeah. And that's how we sell it, okay? And on the additive side, the way that we supply the machine, the backup, the service, the attention to detail, the TLC, the Matsuura way, we're taking market share in that. You know, we're not the newbie on the block in additive. You know, we're here now, and we're here to stay.
And Lindsay's going to be on that stand shortly on the additive side, taking a tour and having a look at all of those elements. The machine I'm going to be talking to Paul about, the 420, is a new model that you introduced about a year or so ago.
Yeah, so basically the 330, again, best-selling machine, you know.
And the 330 is a 10 pallet,
330 diameter, 300 high, 5-axis, simultaneous machine. Best-selling machine.
How many years sold?
I was trying to work the numbers out earlier. I think in the 5 years we've had the product, in excess of 120 units in the UK. So Matsuura cannot meet the world demand with that machine. Yeah. They're currently undergoing extensions in Japan to make more MX330s.
What do you like about these shows, Dom?
Losing my voice.
A bit like we got you early, isn't it?
Yeah. So what do I love? What amazes me is how many people I know, you know, and I think, and the compliments that we're getting about not only the stand, the products, but us as a business. And I think we work hard, Roger, I and the team, we work very hard to deliver a service, which is for us priority.
The most important.
When people walk on and give us that compliment, it's very humbling. So, you know, to meet everybody that we know, comes and spends a few minutes with us, I think that's... I knew I was going to be tired this week. Yeah. I'm already tired.
You accepted that before we even started?
2:30, day 2, I'm tired. So thank you.
Great stuff. Well, I'm going to take your microphone, Dom, because I'm going to go and see Paul, and we're going to talk about the 420.
Thank you very much, guys. Yeah, all the
Thank
best.
you. So there you heard it from Dominic Seminario. I'm now going to catch up with Paul Collinson, who's going to talk to us about one of the products that Dom mentioned.
Thank you, Paul.
Good afternoon, Paul.
Good afternoon, Paul.
Let's talk about this 420. This
MX420. So the MX420 was launched 2021.
If you keep the microphone up, that's right.
Predominantly based on the success of the MX330, which was launched in 2017. Again, that was launched because of the MX520 inclusion into market about 2014. Obviously, the MX520 was just a single-tailed machine, so we incorporate the MX330 with 10 pallets, and now we're onto the MX420 with 10 pallets. 15k spindle, 90 tools, 10 pallet machine with a 420 working envelope by 300 milli high.
Now, wow, you must have you got all that down to a T.
I've read the brochure.
If you keep the microphone up to your mouth, Paul. No, so the unmanned run is everything that these machines are about, isn't it? It's about keeping that spindle going for as long as possible. And what are the problems and challenges people might face with doing that? I mean,
one of the biggest challenges for me was customers saying, I need volume, hundreds, thousands. But these machines are designed for the small to medium batches, runners, repeaters. And because we've got the 92 carousel down there, what the guys do is when they reprogram new components, they'll try to use the same library. And what we'll do is we'll also try to use the same work holding device, maybe make the billet bigger, so we can use less work holding device. That was the main thing around the second times, you know. Have we got enough tools? Have we got new pallets?
If you keep the mic... Now,
Sorry.
let's open this door now, Paul, if you can.
That's okay, yep.
This is what I...
and we're okay for that position, Paul,
Paul,
yeah?
like about seeing in this machine, the creativity that you guys have got when it comes to your fixturing and your work holding. It's not just 10 pallets, is it? What we're
It's
showing
not
here?
10 pallets. I mean, obviously what we can do here is we've got the chick vise, which can hold 12 parts, 3/6 each side. But I've recently been involved in a project with a customer where rather than doing one billet per time, we put strips on, so we can do a multiple parts. So that then reduces the cost for the actual fixtures, and we can use, I mean, we can use stuff like this, or we can use sort of mighty bites to grip the component. So this sort of pallet design gives the customer the ability to design his own fixtures. You don't necessarily need to buy them, but this equipment is very good to buy, but it gives the customer the opportunity to make his own. And that's where we can assist with a little bit, you know, with the drawings.
And I think what you're seeing here as well is what you see there is Chick clearly for adding more
well-known
components.
brand,
But if you look to the right of that, where you've got this kind of yellow
the working
drum,
envelope,
it's showing you the working envelope.
It's a huge
Quite
working
a lot of
envelope
capacity there.
A very lot of capacity. Also, what we don't always preach is, but you can get bigger parts on if you put it at a certain angle to go through the pallet changer. So if you may be doing, or even if you're doing one or two parts, just put them through the door.
Yeah.
If it's a small batch, of course.
And it's a small footprint as well. I mean,
very, very small footprint.
We take a step back and you can see, you know, you're getting a lot of components through, which is so important
very,
to
very
manufacturers.
appealing footprint, you know. So this obviously can give the customer the ability to buy more machines.
Yeah.
Rather than going for these large pallet systems.
And on that
you know.
point, what is your area, Paul, and how much success do you have if you take a step this way? How much success do you have with this type of, you know, not just the 420, the 330? We heard from Dom how many machines you've sold with the 330.
My area is predominantly the northwest, Burnley, Manchester, up into Scotland. I would say that the MX330 has been the most popular machine that I've sold over the years. It's a good entry-level, 5-axis, fully spec'd up for unmanuring. What we also got is we've got the RIM software, Remote Intelligent Machine Monitoring System, which runs alongside the machine as well.
I was going to say that must be really important because you...
Very, very important.
If you're not around, you've got to make sure that when the machine... You've got to make sure it's running. You've got to be able to work out if there is a problem or diagnose things and solve issues.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that's where RIMS comes in.
This is where it comes in. So if one of our customers sets up the pallet system on a Friday, 10 different parts or a multiple amount of parts, puts he puts a schedule in here. The software then say, right, tool 5 is missing, or tool 5 will not have the life to be able to complete the full 10 pallets. So then the guy can go around the side, change the tool, put it in, and away we go. And also, if you have, most people finish early in the northeast on a Friday.
Today?
Well, allegedly anyway. I don't. But what they can do is, once they've left the premises, if the machine stops, they'll receive an email. So we can send a guy back in, reset the machine away.
Perfect. Paul, I'm going to take that microphone off you. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. It's been a really good insight into the MX420. That's Paul Collinson. You can contact Paul if you are in his territory and looking at an automation solution like the MX420. Next, we move on to the machine that Dominic was telling us about, the Muratech. I'm going to be speaking to Simon Higgs, who again is a familiar face on our channel. Good afternoon, Simon.
Good afternoon.
If you could just keep the microphone to your,
Is that okay?
to your mouth. Yeah, that's very good, very good. Simon, we've looked at the 5-axis horizontal machining centre, of which you participate in the sales of, but this particular machine, it's been turning heads here, isn't it? Can you tell us what it is?
Yeah, certainly. So this is our Muratech MWR120 machine, which is a billet and casting loading machine. We've got 2 spindles, 2 turrets, and a twin gantry system. So we're loading in from the left-hand side.
It's quite interesting looking at this front-facing spindle or method. What's the reason for that, and what's the advantages?
So it allows us to load and unload very quickly. So we can load and unload within 5 seconds on here. It also means we can transfer the part between the 2 spindles out of the cut-in time. So as an opposed spindle, you would be transferring between the 2 spindles. This we can do whilst the machine's actually running and cutting.
Now, I'm thinking about this from a volume perspective, which this machine would be about. What about complexity of part? You know, the configuration of the axes. How many have you got? You've got Y-axis and all that type of stuff.
So this is a 4-axis machine with Y-axis, so plus or minus 60 mil on the Y-axis, so a very large Y-axis we've got here. Allows us, with 2 10-station turrets, allows us to multi-load tooling, and we can then use maybe 2 turning tools, for example, per station, using the Y-axis to use them, so we can then set up sister tooling to run for longer periods.
So volume and complex parts at the same time,
Certainly,
possibly.
yes.
That gantry is moving at a pace, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is, yes, and we've got a quicker one as well,
Have you?
a carbon fibre model, so 200 metres a minute this will run at. We can load with a 14 pallet stocker we've got on the left-hand side here. We can multi-load billets.
Well, let's have a look at this. I mean, I know the camera's moving over to it, but so this is where your billets, your raw material goes, or your finished parts. Are you from one end and finish the other side? Is that how you do it?
Yeah, so we've got options depending on the customer's parts, really. So if the parts lend themselves to being restocked, we can bring them back here. If the customer's not looking for metal on metal, then we can unload to the right-hand side. So ultimately, we can take a raw billet from here, load op 10, take that op 20, and then out. So it becomes an automation line.
Okay, so if we look at this end here, we've got some inspection happening here then.
Yes.
So the part's been finished. It's been, put here to be checked.
Yeah, so this is just an example of some of the extra options that we can add to the machine. So we're inspecting the component here, then automatically updating the offsets for the next component coming through. So if we have a no good part, we can update that so that the next part is good. We can then unload the no good part to a different section so that it's set up that way. We can also then add options, for example, deburring or wash stations. So it makes, depending on what the customer's looking to do, we can take that process out of the cutting time to reduce the overall tack time of the component.
I mean, what we see here is the MWR 120, but there's a lot more models, isn't there, available from you?
Certainly,
and don't you sell
yes.
more machines in the automotive industry than anybody else? So there's some pretty good statistical facts.
That's right, yeah. Muratech supply more into the automotive than any other lathe manufacturer.
And I suppose you, by that statement alone, shows you their reliability and their speed, because they're 2 things that are critical in that sector.
Most definitely, yes.
Yeah. Brilliant. Okay, Simon, thank you very much for your time. I'm going to take that microphone off.
Okay.
Are you having a good show before we...
Fantastic.
Sold any machines yet?
Not yet.
Simon, thank you very much for your time, and see you soon.
See you soon. Thank you.
So there you can see the turning solution available from Matsuura in the Muratech machine. Incredible piece of technology. We now move on to speak with Mark Cumberland, who, again, another familiar face on our channel. Hi, Mark.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, I'm very good.
Long time no see.
Yeah, how is the south of England these days?
Oh, brilliant. Hot and sunny, as always.
Is it? And are you still selling plenty of machines down there?
Yes, occasionally, yes. No, we're doing really well. South Coast is still building year after year. You know, last year we had probably our best year ever on the South Coast. And it's, just goes straight to strength.
For you, though, what is the big markets down there?
It's still generally subcon. Aerospace is coming back, for sure. But generally, it's still subcontractors that are investing in Matsuura's type of automation, just to give themselves more hours of unmanned running, through the night running. Typical of what we do.
Yeah, keep them competitive.
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
what's interesting about this machine is this is the MX850. Now, this is a single table machine, and there's no automation on here, but it would be automation ready.
It is, yes. The MX850 is the largest machine in the MX range. It was the second of the MX machines to come out, probably around about 10 years ago now. And it put us into
a big machine, isn't it?
It is, yeah. But it's put us into as you say, an area of machining in terms of size of components. On this machine, we can take a component 850 diameter by 400 tool, half a ton on the table. We have customers machining engine blocks and heads on this machine and spinning it and getting to all 5 faces.
Yeah, I can imagine. I think I saw one of these at one of your customers actually in Scotland. And I can't. Do they have a 4PC with this machine?
Yes, it's not often that nowadays we have a single table machine in stock, but we have a number at the moment which we're promoting. But yeah, the majority of what we sell nowadays of this type of machine would be a 4 pallet version, and that comes with either 90 or 120 tools as standard, either 15 or 20,000 RPM. This is a 20,000 RPM machine, and then all of the ancillaries that you usually get with a Matsuura, so up to 70 bar coolant, FSC swarf management system, mist extraction, tool length measurement, everything.
And when you take your area and we talk, I mean, how many machines will you sell? I know the majority of machines have automation, but that would be almost something that is the norm now then for you, isn't it, I would guess?
Yes, I mean, I haven't sold a single table machine in the Southeast for, I don't know, probably approaching 4 years now.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It is, yeah.
And what do you, tell me a little bit about your control system as well, because I know that's across the range. Yeah, explain the benefits and features on that.
With the latest Matsuura GTEC 30i control, 31i control, sorry, it's a FANUC-based system, but it runs Matsuura front-end software. We run our own tool life management systems on it, and all of the maintenance criteria is catered for within the Matsuura side of the software.
Which I suppose is really important when you're looking at the long
and it's far
runs.
more intuitive for an operator to be able to recover tool changes, things like that, through the Matsuura guided system than being able to do it in a conventional way.
Good stuff. Mark, really good insight into the MX850. I'm going to take that microphone off you.
No problem at all.
Thank you very much.
I hope you have a good show for the rest of
it.
it.
Yeah, you too. Enjoy it. Thank you. So there we have Mark Cumberland. So that's the machining centre side. That's the subtractive side of the Matsuura stand. I'm now going to hand you over to Lindsay, who's with John, and they're going to take you on a tour around the additive side. Here you go, John. Good luck.
Thanks.